What's up, everybody? It's Friday, yeah! New highs in the S&P, new highs in the Dow. NASDAQ creeping back up there. We got to at least see that, and we're going to see that. We're going to see a new high in the NASDAQ as well. Look, a lot of people out there still calling bubbles, still calling tops, and you know, I get it. I get it that sentiment is really bullish. Not everywhere, though. I would also make the argument that I see a lot of people, you know, like these fancy Wall Street analysts calling tops. We just don't get it. I mean, this is a 70-year paradigm shift. Think about that. I mean, we're seeing economic growth levels here in the United States that we have not seen since the 1950s, the post-World War II. I mean, that was a boom. And in China, man, 18% economic growth. That is off the charts. A lot of people last month were saying, a lot of these same fancy Wall Street analysts were saying, oh, that's it for China because they're cutting back on their lending. Understand something about Chinese lending when they talk about lending. That is government directed. That is state directed. That's the same thing as fiscal here in the United States. When the government commands the banks in China to lend for this or that. So I don't know how true that was in terms of whatever, you know, cutback in lending fiscal there was, but 18.3%. And I saw a thing today where they said the one headline, and again, to me, this is indicative of the sentiment. Even though, you know, maybe some of these surveys are showing everybody as bullish, like these headlines. One headline was, China growing at 18.3%. Yeah, but it's leveling off. It's leveling off at 18%? I mean, even if it levels off at 10%. So, you know, there's still a lot of skepticism out there. And I've been telling you, like, it's fiscal. It's fiscal. Dogecoin, whatever that thing is called, today up 90%, up over 400% this week. This is another thing that's going on, which my explanation for all this, another paradigm shift. I've been talking about this now for months, for maybe a couple of years. This is all this crypto stuff, all right? As far as I can see, my theory is, and I could be wrong, but this is my theory, and I've said this before, this is a manifestation of U.S. policy intended to weaponize the dollar and make it hard for nations who the U.S. deems as enemies or adversaries, or for whatever reason, if they want to punish them or lock somebody out, to lock entities out of the global dollar-based financial system. And I've said this so many times that the rest of the world is going to start to look for alternatives. And once Bitcoin was created, and I think the allure of that, the attraction of that, was that it was seen as something extra governmental. In other words, outside the control of government, we think anyway. I mean, some governments, Turkey just banned the use of it for transaction. But this is a manifestation of this, you know, the rest of the world seeking alternative payment systems. And this is just, I think this is in its early stages. Eventually something will come out of this, a new form of global transaction and clearing that will be non-US dollar based. I don't know if it's going to be Bitcoin. I doubt it. I don't know if it's going to be any one of these cryptos. It's too early to tell. It may be a national digital currency, maybe that Chinese digital currency, but we are moving away. Like, this is kind of like the gold rush in California, in the sense that once gold was discovered, lots of people went out there. Not everybody hit it rich. Some people did, but one of the other consequences of that was the settlement of California, Northern California, all the region out there that saw tremendous growth as a result of the gold rush. So I mean, this is a paradigm shift. And it stems from, I think, U.S. policy, where the U.S., I think, wrongly, and you know, we're going to understand this years from now. When we look back at it, it's going to be very obvious. And I've been talking about that, but it's going to be very obvious to historians or anyone who is going to look back at this period and say, you know what? When the United States started to engage with these policies and literally kind of break down, or with an intent to destroy the very system that it has enjoyed the benefits of for so long, right? Everyone talked about, oh, you know, the United States gets away with this or that financially because the dollar is a reserve currency. You know, some of that is true. Some of that is really blown up out of proportion. But I've always said it will be our policies. It will not be as a result of, you know, we're printing money. Printing money is a consequence of the demand for the dollar as a unit of account, as a means of transaction. That's it. It's not even the government really that controls that. It's the demand by the non-government to hold those dollars, to net save, to pay taxes, to transact, whatever. So it was never going to happen as a result of that, but it is going to happen as a result of, you know, policy intended to weaponize. So all this stuff, the cryptos, they're in the early stages. We don't know now. I don't know now, and I'm not even going to try to speculate or guess who is going to be, you know, the winner at the end of the day, if you want to call it that. And I don't even know if it's going to be a crypto, quite frankly. I mean, they're very volatile, and not everybody accepts it. But a national digital currency could be China, it could be the U.S. again. I mean, the Fed is talking about doing something like that, but we here in the U.S., we're clearly behind where China is right now in the development of something like that. So that's what I think is going on. And because right now, these cryptos are finite. I mean, Bitcoin, was it like a 21 million total supply? I mean, the price could go anywhere because as people want it, it's finite. It just keeps getting bid up. You can't, that's another reason why I don't think it's going to end up being like a reserve currency or anything like that, or like, it's just, it's not feasible. It's like being on a gold standard. Those things don't last. So anyway, that's it. We had another great day. Bank data just came out. Loans up. That's positive. Banks, I look at them, man, they're still, like, when you look at the overall market and you look at some of these big banks, they're very attractive. Anyway, have a great weekend. I'll try to do some videos over the weekend. Don't forget to go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, and sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader. Everybody's making money, unless you're listening to these people out there. Take care, everybody. Bye.